Fried onions are a simple preserve that will save you time in winter, an ideal way to make cooking faster and more convenient during the cold season. In just a few steps, you can preserve the aroma and flavor of fried onions for months. This onion preparation is perfect for dumplings, soups, sauces, stews, borscht, or ragu. This easy recipe will help you save time and effort in the kitchen because you won't need to fry onions every time you cook your favorite meals. Try it, and you'll definitely appreciate this handy prep. Honestly, for me, winter prepped onions are #1 in my pantry. We'll cook the onions in 2 ways. We'll fry 1 kilogram in oil, that's the lean version, and we'll fry 2 kilograms with pork fat. First, chop the onions into cubes. Some of you may be surprised by this kind of preserve, but experienced cooks will appreciate it. They know how much effort it takes to fry onions every time for those dishes where they're essential. I personally love fried onions, but their smell lingers in the kitchen for a long time, especially when the kitchen is open to the living room. The scent stays on clothes, and sometimes after frying onions, you even need to wash your hair. It absorbs the smell so quickly, but with this kind of prep, you fry once and enjoy peace for several months. The kitchen stays clean, and your favorite meals still taste delicious. Preparing fried onions for winter is a great way to always have a flavorful base for many dishes. These onions add a special taste to soups, sauces, gravies, even sandwiches. Chop the onions and now heat the pan. In one of them, pour 100 grams of sunflower oil. That's enough to fry 1 kilo of onions. Heat the oil well so the onions start frying immediately. Now cut the pork fat into small pieces so it renders properly. Start with slices, then cube them. Choose fat that renders well. We won't add oil here. The fat must provide enough grease. The best fat comes from the pig's back. It's soft, without tough meat fibers. It melts well and has a delicate texture. The side also gives soft fat. And the belly, or pork belly, has layers of tender meat. Adding flavor to the lard and making the cracklings delicious. Put the fat into the pan. Render it on low heat. That way, the fat melts evenly and doesn't burn. By the way, this is Poltava pork fat. The cracklings will be perfect for onions. We used 500 grams of fat in total. Don't forget the onions in the oil. Stir them regularly. They're already changing color, so keep an eye on them. Don't over-fry them. Burnt onions turn bitter. The cracklings have browned nicely. The fat has rendered, so it's time to add the onions. These slightly salted cracklings are incredibly tasty. If you've never tried them, you're missing out. Do try. Add the onions to the pan and fry everything together until golden. With this amount of fresh onion, the cracklings won't fry further. By the way, don't add any spices while the onions are frying. That comes at the end. Just salt to taste. This recipe is great when you've got leftover summer onions or lots of small ones. Don't throw them out. Ask someone to help clean and chop, and later you'll be thankful for this handy prep. Or if you don't have storage space, in warm conditions, onions become too strong, and even chopping them becomes a challenge. Sometimes you buy a large batch of onions, and they start spoiling, but with this recipe, nothing will go to waste. Fried onions are a ready base for meals. You'll save time when cooking soups, stews, sauces, and gravies. The onions in oil are almost ready. Watch them closely to prevent burning. It would ruin the taste. Stir constantly to ensure they brown evenly. Now, get the jars ready. Sterilize them. This extends their shelf life. Wash the jars and sterilize them wet in the oven. All moisture must evaporate, and the jars should be dry. Salt the onions to taste. They should have a beautiful amber color. Salt doesn't smell strong, but it enhances the natural flavors. At this stage, salt helps caramelize the onions better, adding warm, sweet richness. If you salt onions early, they release moisture quicker and stay drier. Immediately transfer the hot onions into jars. These are 330 milliliters jars, a handy size. One jar is enough for 3 to 4 dishes, since fried onions are intense. It may look small, but it holds a lot. 500 grams of raw onions fit into one. Fill the jars well. The onions must be completely covered in oil. This keeps them fresh and prevents spoilage. Seal the jars with sterilized lids. This ensures long shelf life. Boil the lids for 3 to 5 minutes. This little jar of fried onions for winter is a real find. A perfect preserve that keeps the onion flavor ready for use anytime. Now stir the onion with the cracklings again. The aroma is incredible. Good quality, fresh fat gives clean, aromatic lard. And when paired with onions, the cracklings become even more delicious. At the end, season the onions, about 10 grams of salt per kilogram, and ground black pepper to taste. Fried onions with pork belly, a perfect base for hearty meals. Add them to borscht, soups, stewed vegetables, or use as filling for buns. They're amazing with mashed potatoes or